So setup-wise is absolutely fine. You're not aiming too far right or to the left. I mean, your line was sort of towards the 100 sign. The fact that your feet are there is absolutely fine. Your shoulders are pretty much square to target. In both cases, it's a good start position, okay? Top of the backswing for me does get a little bit long. Again, well, with that club, I mean, 58's not really designed to be at full, if truth be told. I mean, if you went to the 100 yards, you could do it with a nice comfortable 52, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
You wouldn't need to try and smash the whatever out of the 50.
Yeah, no,
just
I
swing
would
more within
yeah.
yourself. So, but in terms of the actual position, not too bad. Right elbow is a little bit high, and the reason why your left arm is bending is you're trying to get the club back further than you think you need to complete the backswing. You need to go about that far. You're strong enough anyway. You're at 58 degree, 100 yards comfortably, okay? So, as you're coming back down, now, what you had before was hips going that way, head going back that way. You came into the golf ball, so the head sort of starts moving back here now.
Yeah.
Hips going forward. You come at the golf ball. We're coming back to a Healy strike.
Yeah.
The feeling for you, as we said, is maintain this angle now back. So your head is staying in the same position, and the hips are staying forward. So hips are staying back, and the head's staying forward as you start bringing the golf club down. Now, in this case, we start unwinding there.
There really,
pretty good, yeah, and that's fine. As we're starting to unwind, the hips are just starting to come off there a little bit, as we can see. The hands aren't coming over the top. There's definitely more hip back action. The club now in that position is in a great position. Down the target line, hands under your shoulders. So therefore, when we come back to the golf ball, the strike now is more at the middle. It's a much better strike. There's still a little bit of hip going forward, that last little bit there.
Yeah,
I think a lot of that's probably...
I'm sort of like standing up. You know?
Yeah, a lot of that's more to do with probably just your own flexibility in your hips. If you're a rugby player with strong legs, I doubt there's that much range of motion for your hip flexors as much as maybe the next person. So therefore, when you try to rotate, you're forced to early extend. And we'll give you a couple of little exercises you can do to work on that, just to increase that range of motion. And we'll sort of do a little screen test to see how much range of motion you have. But if we can maintain the feeling of the hips back, whether they stay back perfectly or not, at least when you've got the feeling of that, you come back to a better strike. So you're reducing the risk of hitting one of them and dinking off the right there, okay? You can swing through now. Because there's more space between your hands and your arms and your legs there as you swing through, you might get the odd pulley one. In this case, that's a good shot, to be fair, a nice strike towards target. And your balance, you can see, is a lot better when you come through. If the hips, when you swing a golf club, as you come down, if the hips on this yellow line go that way and the head goes that way and the club goes that way and your weight goes this way, there's a game of tug of war there, four different directions, one's going to win. And as the swing gets quicker, in sort of the 100 plus mile an hour you get with a longer club, no doubt, your balance then will be affected obviously with that, because you've got basically four different moving parts going all over the place. Tough to be consistent with that movement, okay? But again, try to just think in terms of the backswing that you're not too short. I'm going to worry about being a short backswing.
Yeah, it needs to be...
I would say way more. Yeah, that'd be fair. You kind of go a bit further that way, okay? That would be certainly enough, especially with a 58 degree, okay? More than 3/4. The elbows tucked down.
I notice I don't bend my wrists.
Don't hinge your wrists.
Yeah, I can't. I've tried doing it and tried changing it, but I can't do it. Like
you kind of do and you don't. I mean, there's a little bit of a hinge.
Or with the shampoo.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is, when I look at a golf swing, people say, "Oh, you're going to change." I've had guys come for lessons. You've got the most ridiculously looking swings. They go, "I bet you changed." I said, "Well, why?" I didn't change. You wouldn't change Jim Furyk's swing. What he's doing wrong above what. You've got to look at what is the golfer doing. At the end of the day, the important part of golf is that moment there when the golfer strikes the golf ball. What is the golfer doing to cause the club to come back either closed, open, high or low, or one of the combinations of the four? Okay, that's basically what we're looking for. Is it a middle strike, or have you topped it, skied it, toed it, shanked it, open or closed or square? One of those sort of 7 different positions, okay, whether it's on the club face. So as long as you work on the issue with that, rather than saying, well, that shouldn't happen, this shouldn't happen, that shouldn't happen, doesn't matter. Yeah. You do something that if your wrist hinge less, so what? Yeah. Bryson DeChambeau, as you said, has less wrist hinge than the next guy. Would you not want his bank balance in the last 2 months? Happy days, exactly. So you wouldn't worry about that, okay? So don't worry about things that don't necessarily look textbook. All you've got to focus on is maintaining that posture, okay? Through
I can see more. I'm jumping up. I can see
a little bit, slightly rising up. But again, the feeling for you by staying back has produced more of a more square strike more consistently. Yeah. So reducing the old potential when you're out the side, okay? So does that make sense to you?
Yeah, of course.
Excellent.